Hey, it's Dave the Butterfly Guy here. Here I am, January in Minnesota. Not a lot to shoot video on this time of year in Minnesota, but I did get to spend the last 12 days in Florida, and I ran across a really cool butterfly garden in Bonita Springs, and I want to share with you some of the great stuff they're doing for the monarch and other butterflies down in the state of Florida. So let's get to that. Let's get out of this weather and let's break into some nice weather in Florida. One of the first things you see when you enter the Estero Park at Bonita Bay is this sign. It caught my attention. It says, "A butterfly when pursued is just beyond your grasp, but if you will sit down quietly, it may alight upon you." This is a saying from Nathaniel Hawthorne. I've never used the word alight in my life, but I think it means a butterfly may land on you if you're just quiet. And I thought this was really attention grabbing. The next thing I saw when I entered the garden was this sign that highlighted the butterflies of Lee County, which is where Bonita Springs is, just south of Fort Myer. And so they had all kinds of great butterflies, some that we see in Minnesota, like the eastern tiger swallowtail. We saw the giant swallowtail when we were down there, monarchs, and then my favorite in Florida is the zebra longwing. Next, I ran across this sign. I was excited to see that the Estero Butterfly Garden is also registered as a Monarch way station. And I had shot a video on how to become a Monarch way station this past summer, and I hope you get to see it sometime. As we entered the garden, I saw monarchs right away and other butterflies, so that caught my attention. In the east part of the U.S., monarchs will migrate to Florida and actually stay in Florida year-round, whereas the central part of the U.S., the monarch migrates to Mexico, or on the west coast, on the west side of the Rockies, they'll migrate to Southern California. So I was really excited to see monarchs in Florida, and we saw them on these cool pollinating flowers. But then I was wondering, what kind of host plant do they have? And then we ran across this huge plant, and it's a giant milkweed plant. I'd never seen anything like it. These things grow from 8 to 25 feet tall. Their leaves can be as wide as 6 inches, as long as 12 inches. Can you imagine a monarch caterpillar seeing one of these? It could eat all day, and that's what they did. So we've got some great shots of the monarch caterpillars eating these great big leaves, and all kinds of caterpillars can survive on one plant. So my wife was with me, and right away she started to notice the frass. So that's the poop from the caterpillar, and that's one of the easiest ways to find caterpillars is look for the frass. We started seeing it on these huge leaves, and then we would just follow it around till we found the caterpillars. We found all kinds of caterpillars on this giant milkweed, and they were big and hardy, and you can imagine how much they had to eat off this giant-sized host plant. Then the other thing that was astounding is not only did we see all kinds of caterpillars, some small, some really big, but then we also started to run across some of the chrysalises. And the monarchs would just create their chrysalis right on the bottom of some of these leaves, which we thought was really cool. So I have a couple of shots of that coming up here in just a minute. So we saw some really large frass, and it came from a really large caterpillar. So again, I've never seen monarch caterpillars get this big, and this giant milkweed is the perfect host plant. We also ran across a really cool tree called the Scarlet Powder-Puff. It maybe was about 15 feet tall, had these really cool flowers on it. And then as we sat there, we did start to see some butterflies come in and land on it, including the monarch. So here, if you look closely, you can see a monarch.
Well, back in Minnesota, I hope you have a great winter. I can't hardly wait till spring to start planting flowers and milkweed and getting the butterflies rolling here in Minnesota again. But for now, it's Dave the Butterfly Guy. That's all I got. I'm signing out. Have a great winter.